Well, here we are. So this is the all-new Cube Attain C62 Race road bike, and in this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike, and also I will tell you some likes and dislikes when it comes to this Cube road bike. So hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So Cube Attain platform is all about being an endurance road bike. So primarily designed to be as comfortable as possible, and also designed for you to spend many hours in the saddle feeling kind of refreshed. So this is all incorporated into the geometry of this bike and basically the philosophy of designing this bike. The retail price of this Cube Attain is astonishing 1,899 hard-earned British pounds or 1,699 euros. Absolutely astonishing price point in my opinion, and in the current market it's very hard to compete with Cube when it comes to the specific price point. Also, this bike comes in two paint schemes you can choose from. One is this beautiful kind of light blue with a hint of silver and white, and also they have another paint scheme which is totally kind of I would almost call it like a stealth, totally black paint scheme of the bike. And I'm really glad that in this price point of 1,700 euros, Cube is offering two paint schemes. That's definitely plus in my book, because many times you can see some of the higher end bikes, much more expensive bikes than this one, who will only offer you one paint scheme and then force you to even pay more if you want a specific paint scheme. So this is absolutely excellent from Cube. Now let's talk about the main components on the bike and really see what you are getting for your hard-earned money. So let's kick off with the frame and the fork. So this is the C62 carbon fiber frame and the fork from Cube. This frame has a press-fit bottom bracket, 12mm through axles both front and the back, and still the warranty on Cube frames is 5 years, which is, just okay in my opinion. Would be nice if Cube would move to a lifetime warranty like some other bike manufacturers, but it is what it is. 5 years warranty on a carbon fiber frame is pretty standard across the industry. Also, this carbon fiber frame and the fork internally cable routed. So as you can see, the cables from the shifters go under the handlebar, under the stem, then into the frame. This is of course done because it looks much nicer, and maybe there is some aerodynamic advantage here, but also keep in mind that if any servicing is needed on the shifting cables or the hydraulic lines for the hydraulic disc brakes, you will probably have to go to your local bike shop, and just because everything is internally routed, it will definitely cost a bit more. But as I say, at the current state of the market, everybody is demanding that these cables are internally routed. So nothing special in this area when it comes to Cube bikes. Okay, moving on to the handlebar and the stem. As you can see, this handlebar and the stem luckily is a separate piece, so nothing proprietary here. This is a very simple aluminum handlebar, very simple aluminum stem, but perfectly fine, because this is exactly what you want. It's easy to service, easy to replace any parts, easy to adjust your position on the bike, so definitely in my opinion that's a plus. Maybe in the future, if you really want to, change some parts here, I could advise you to think about buying yourself a carbon fiber handlebar, but definitely this is not needed as it is out of the box. When you look at the saddle and the seat post, the saddle is the Cube's own, in-house production saddle. I can't comment too much on the quality of this saddle. Saddles are always a personal preference. Maybe this one is going to be good for you, maybe not. But at least it's very easy to replace a saddle if you really need to replace it. When it comes to the seat post, this is aluminum seat post, 27.2 millimeters in diameter, so everything standard here. I wish that this seat post is a carbon fiber seat post just because it will make your ride even smoother. And something to think about in the future, one tip to upgrade, if you are thinking of upgrading a seat post in the future, I can definitely recommend you to have a look at this Ergon seat post. So this is the carbon fiber seat post from Ergon, a German manufacturer of different components. And of course, this carbon fiber seat post, in my opinion, is just stunning. It's their, very famous VCLS carbon fiber seat post. You have probably seen it on the Canyon bikes. And yes, it is a bit pricey, 250 euros, but often you can find it on a discount, so definitely look for that. But definitely, in my opinion, this carbon fiber seat post is a stunning product from Ergon, and I still believe one of the, if not the most comfortable carbon fiber seat post on the market. So this is just something in the future to think about if you really want to upgrade your seat post to get your bike even more comfortable. Moving on to the group set on this bike. So what are you getting here? So this is the Shimano's 12-speed mechanical group set, Shimano 105 mechanical group set. So everything from shifters, front mech, rear mech, Shimano chainrings, no cutting corners in the whole group set. And I have to say that this Shimano 105 mechanical is an absolute workhorse of mechanical group sets. It's going to work perfectly fine, and definitely I have no complaints here when it comes to this Shimano's 105 mechanical group set. Just a few more details to mention here. When it comes to these double chainrings, Shimano 105, and these chainrings are 50-34 at the front and paired with the Shimano's 105 cassette, and this is this beautiful 11-34 cassette. So you have this huge gear ratio at the back, 11-34. Definitely it's going to be easy to climb any steep mountains with this gear ratio. 50-34 chainrings and 11-34 cassette. Also the chain, they didn't cut corners here, so this is the Shimano M6100 chain. This is basically the Shimano EUR chain, Shimano EUR 12-speed chain. It is from the Shimano's mountain bike range, but make no mistakes, you can use any 12-speed compatible chain from the Shimano range. Is it a road bike chains or mountain bike chains? Everything is going to work perfectly fine. And definitely a tip for the future, when you are replacing this chain, always stick with the Shimano 12-speed chains, just because it's going to be compatible with the chain rings and with the cassette much better than any other chains you can buy on the market. So as you can see, Shimano 105 mechanical group set, perfectly fine, 12-speed, is going to work, infinitely, as long as you keep it clean and service it, once a year. Moving on to the braking system. So this is the Shimano 105 hydraulic disc brakes, both front and the back. Excellent option in my opinion. And also here we have 160mm braking rotors, both the front and the back. And my opinion, this is an excellent choice. This is exactly what you need. You need this good heat dissipation, you need good stopping power. So 160mm braking rotors front and the back are must in my opinion. Although I have to mention here, these braking rotors are very simple, basic Shimano's braking rotors. So maybe again, one tip for the future, if you are upgrading some parts and let's say after a few years of usage you want to change your braking pads, you want to buy new braking rotors, definitely I would tell you to consider the Shimano Ultegra braking rotors, just because they will offer you much better heat dissipation and ultimately stopping power than these kind of basic Shimano rotors. But this is something to think about as an upgrade in the future, absolutely not necessary at this stage. Moving on to the wheel set of this bike. So what are you getting here? So these wheels are a very simple aluminum wheel set from Cube, and these wheel sets, nothing special here. Some kind of seal cartridge bearing hubs front and back. The rim height is 23mm. I'm not so sure if even these wheels are tubeless ready. You'll just have to double check with Cube dealer, but I wouldn't be so stressed about this wheelset as it is out of the box. Definitely use it until the bearings in these, hubs fall apart. And then what I can suggest you is that the wheelset is always an excellent upgrade on any bike. So for example, you can have a look at the DT Swiss wheels. I believe they are absolutely excellent, bulletproof, as I would say, and every bike shop has parts for servicing DT Swiss wheels. So for example, if you look at this EUR 1600 spline wheelset with a retail price of approximately 600 euros, also keep in mind many times DT Swiss wheels are on discount. It's an excellent wheelset in my opinion. Aluminium wheelset from DT Swiss, approximately 1700 grams in total. This wheelset uses excellent DT Swiss 350 hubs with their ratchet 36 system, DT Swiss Aero spokes, aluminium spokes, and this wheelset, let me just double check, I believe the rim height is 30 millimeters and internally 20 millimeters, absolutely excellent for an aluminium wheelset, and it is tubeless ready wheelset, so if you ever want to change your wheels to being tubeless, this is tubeless ready. So for approximately 600 euros, I think this DT Swiss EUR 1600 wheelset should definitely be on your short list if you are upgrading the wheels. Of course, if you are going more looking at some carbon fiber wheels, you are coming closer to 1,000 euros mark, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 euros mark, but I don't think that's really necessary on this level of the bike. Also, when it comes to the tires on this bike, the bike comes with the Continental tires, GP tires. These are 30mm tires front and the back. Perfectly fine out of the box, but definitely in the future, when you destroy these tires, I would advise you to buy 32mm tires, just because you will have more air volume and a much smoother bike ride. And also, for example, if you buy like a Continental GP 5000 tires, absolutely stunning tires, 32mm tires front and the back, you can easily fit them on this bike because the frame and the fork can take all the way up to 34mm tires if you really want that. In my opinion, for a road bike, endurance road bike, 32mm tires are absolutely perfect. There's no need to go, wider, in my opinion, if you are, riding mostly on the road. This whole package, this Cube Attain C62 Race, in some kind of size medium, is going to be approximately 9.2 kilograms all in, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. Again, when you consider that this is a proper endurance bike, an entry-level carbon fiber bike from Cube, and considering the retail price of 1,700 euros, it's an absolutely perfect weight for this bike, and I wouldn't be obsessed with any weight-winning stuff on this bike, because this is not the purpose of this bike. So in a conclusion, as you can probably see and hear, there's so many things to like about this bike, starting with an excellent price point. Also, Shimano 105 mechanical Groupset, 12-speed Groupset. Also, very good carbon fiber frame and the fork from Cube, and Shimano 105 hydraulic disc brakes. Points to upgrade in the future: definitely think about a carbon fiber seat post, as I was mentioning, from Ergon, for example, very good carbon fiber seat posts. And also, if you are upgrading the wheels in the future, I would definitely advise you to have a look at DT Swiss wheels, their aluminium offerings or carbon fiber offerings. So these would be some things to consider for the future. As it is now, out of the box, extremely good value for money with this Cube bike, and I believe they will sell a lot of them. So this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!